In the mid-1980s, Porsche did something insane. They built a car so advanced, so ahead of its time, that the world kind of didn't know what to do with it. This wasn't a follow-up to 911. It wasn't built to sell. It was built to show off, like a mad science experiment on wheels. Active suspension, twin turbos, all-wheel drive. In 1986, this is the story of the Porsche 959. The car that came from the future a bit too soon. Welcome to Nobody Drives. Welcome to Nobody Drives. If you're into cars, the latest tech innovations, the rich history of automotive engineering, and everything that's shaping the way we drive, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an episode about all things automotive, past, present, and future. Now, let's get into it. You see, Porsche didn't just wake up and decide to make a supercar. They did it because of Group B, the wildest, most unhinged era in motorsport history. To qualify for Group B rally, you had to build at least 200 road-legal versions of your car. So Porsche said, fine, let's build a monster that's legal enough to drive to Aldi. The 959 started as a 911 prototype, but everything underneath was new. A Kevlar and aluminum shell, an electronic suspension system that adapts in real time, and an AWD system so advanced it needed its own computer to think. This wasn't evolution. It was science fiction, wearing Porsche badges. Let's talk numbers. The 959 had a 2.85-liter flat six with two turbos, one for low revs, one for high. 450 horsepower, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.6 seconds. Top speed, over 315 km/h. In the 80s, it also had run-flat tires, a tire pressure monitoring system, adjustable ride height, magnesium wheels, and remember, this was 1986. People were still smoking in planes. Windows 1.0 just launched. The Ferrari F40 hadn't even arrived yet. The 959 wasn't just fast. It was technological violence. So, how did it do on the road? Well, it was too good. It didn't slide, didn't scream. It stuck to the road like it was programmed by Skynet. And in rally, Porsche wasn't stupid. They entered the 959 prototype in the Paris-Dakar rally. In 1986, it won the world's toughest off-road race. In a car that looked like a space pod with headlights. Imagine launching an iPhone in 1993. That's how far ahead this car was. But there was one little problem. It cost Porsche about twice as much to build the car as they were selling it for. Each 959 cost Porsche around $530,000 to build. They sold it for $225,000. That's not a car business. That's a flex. Only 292 units were made. Not because there wasn't demand, but because Porsche was bleeding money just proving a point. They didn't want to sell a car. They wanted to prove what was possible. The Porsche 959 was too advanced for its own good. But it became the blueprint for future performance cars. It laid the groundwork for AWD 911 turbos. It inspired engineers to push boundaries. And it forced competitors to rethink what supercar even meant. Bill Gates fought US Customs for 10 years just to import one. Collectors still pay millions for clean examples today. It wasn't the loudest car. It wasn't the prettiest. But it was a silent assassin, coded in German precision. The 959 didn't change the world in 1986. but it wrote the software for the cars that did. So if anyone tells you the Porsche 959 was a failed supercar, tell them it was never meant for them. It wasn't a car of its time. It was a car beyond time. This is Nobody Drives. Subscribe for more stories of machines that were misunderstood, overbuilt, or just too early for the rest of us.